Lennox and Howard have cleared the first hurdle to get into the semifinals of the Class A tournament. 4 more teams vying for the right to join them tonight. Welcome back inside Sioux Falls Arena number 1. Jeff Harkness along with Steve Sotak for part 2 of day 1 for the Class A Boys Championships in Sioux Falls. And Steve, a very entertaining matchup right off the bat in the night session.
That's true. We have the McLaughlin Midgets. Not a whole lot is known about them except that their record is pretty good. They are undefeated. They got a guy named Mike Talley you're going to love watching. He's a real scorer inside and out. They take on Sisseton. All they did was beat the number 1 AA team this year, Watertown.
Should be a matchup of 2 very good teams. We'll have more on them in a moment. And then, of course, our nightcap tonight, defending Class A champ Custer, looking to make it 48 in a row. Well, they'll go against upset-minded and 7th seed Parkston. More from the arena in a moment. You're watching the Class A Boys Basketball Tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. Back inside Sioux Falls Arena, McLaughlin and Sisseton getting ready, and Steve standing by with the head coaches.
Jeff, we'll start with Mike Michelson. He's the leader of the McLaughlin Midgets. Mike, not a whole lot is known about your team. Tell us what the fans can look for from your team tonight.
Well, I think we'll play a pretty aggressive man-to-man defense. We try to push it up the court on if we have the opportunity, but if we don't, we'll be content to slow it down and work for a good shot.
You guys come in with a gaudy, undefeated record. What do you think about your kids in terms of maybe overconfidence, or do they want to show people they're that good, or what?
I don't think we're overconfident. I think there are some people might have some question marks about our record and who we played, but we feel good about our season, and we're just going to kind of try to come in here and play as well as possible.
All right, thank you, Mike. Good luck to you. Okay, Corey Grimsrud, Sisseton taking on undefeated McLaughlin. What does the matchup entail for tonight? What can we look for?
Well, we hope to run the court a little bit on them, and report is that their bench is a little lacks a little depth, and we kind of hope that we can tire them out. We go about 8 kids deep, so we're looking forward to running it up the court if we can.
How hard is it for you to prepare for a team that really no one can tell you a whole lot about?
Well, I guess we just concentrated mostly on working on the things that we do best, and hope that if we can accomplish that type of thing in the practices that we run, that no matter who we play, we'll just make the adjustments in the game.
All right, we'll look for that. Good luck to you tonight, Corey.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Thank you, Steve. We're getting ready for McLaughlin and Sisseton, and let's meet the players.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sioux Falls Arena for this session of the Boys State A Basketball Tournament. This contest is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. In our first game this evening, we have the Midgets of McLaughlin meeting the Redmen of Sisseton. Now, let's meet the teams and their cheerleaders. First, the McLaughlin Midgets cheerleaders. Tanya Hurdle, Nicole Crum, Dina Schmeichel, and Michelle Hannigan. Their advisor is Narcelle Clark. And now the non-starting team members for McLaughlin. Number 10, Corey Como. Number 12, Travis Block. Number 14, Justin Yellowfat. Number 20, Jim Olson. Number 34, Jody Ironshield. Number 40, Dale Mardian. Number 50, Sean Meyer. And now the starting lineup for the Midgets. At guard, number 24 and team tri-captain Jade Mortensen. At the other guard, number 30, Frank Jamerson. At center, number 54, team tri-captain Randy Mardian. At forward, number 22, Derek Dufloth. At the other forward, number 32, team tri-captain Mike Talley. The Midgets are coached by Mike Michelson, assisted by Dave Rodoctor. And now introducing the Sisseton Redmen. First, the cheerleaders for the Redmen. Christy Gerber, Mindy Crawford, Lori Cranhold, and Ember Linhard. The cheerleader advisor is Sharon Pendergast. And now the non-starting team members. Number 11, Robbie Veflin. Number 13, Craig Steen. Number 21, Travis Alberts. Number 41, Denny Lurkey. Number 45, Corey Yamarino. Number 53, Brandon Fisher. Number 55, Jason Karst. And now the starting lineup for the Redmen. At guard, number 31, Henry Renville. At the other guard, number 33, Chad Helwig. At center for the Redmen, number 51, Justin Fisher. At forward, number 23, Dustin Laframboise. At the other forward, number 35, Jason Fonder. The team captains this evening are Craig Steen and Travis Alberts. The head coach for the Redmen is Corey Grimsrud, assisted by Cal Schubert. Your officials for tonight's game are Steve Withorn and Dale Weber. Ladies and gentlemen, will you...
McLaughlin, as we mentioned, undefeated, 22-0 on the year. They score 75 points a game. They give up 61 a game. Sisseton, meanwhile, they are 16-5. They score only 58 a game, but they only give up 55 a game. And just a reminder, this tournament is being conducted under the auspices of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Sisseton in red, McLaughlin in white.
And you're looking at the first mismatch right in the middle of the floor as Randy Mordian is 6'6" for McLaughlin. The center for Sisseton is just 6'3", Justin Fisher, and Mordian is a big scorer on the inside. And there he is, Mike Talley, who I talked about in the pregame.
Mike Talley throws in a three, and McLaughlin takes the early lead, 3-0. Sisseton, first time down on offense.
Mordian with a block.
Rejection, that was Fisher on the inside, and again, we talked about the mismatch. Back the other way, Helwig dishing off. Shot doesn't go, but a foul, and our first free throws of the ball game. Mardian whistled for the personal.
And we'll take a look. Fisher taking it up strong. Mardian called for the foul. But I'll tell you, that first block shot sends a message in a hurry in terms of bringing it on the inside.
Fisher on the year, a 72% free throw shooter, the 6'3" junior.
Neither team is exceptionally big, with the exception of Randy Mardian out there, number 54 for McLaughlin at 6'6". In fact, McLaughlin's coach, Mike Michelson, told me, yeah, we live up to our nickname. We're not real tall.
Fisher makes it 3-2, and then Fisher gets the steal, and here comes Sisseton. Renville ahead, Renville spinning, Renville lays it up and in. Henry Renville, the 5'10" junior, gives Sisseton their first lead at 4-3.
Thought he might have traveled, but no call.
Won't be hard to pick out Jay Mortensen for the midgets. He has the orange shoes and also has the basketball right now. Mortensen down in the corner to Mike Talley.
Second turnover for the midgets. Talley trying to get the ball into Randy Mardian. Those are the two big scores for McLaughlin.
So the Redmen with the basketball and a 1-point lead. We've played a little over a minute here. First quarter of our first game this evening.
As far as Sisseton goes, their big scores are Helwig and Laframboise.
On the inside,
there's Helwig.
Helwig, the 6-foot senior, gets the bucket. Mortensen back the other way.
Mardian will be double teamed.
Mardian on the inside, turns and gets the roll.
I think Sisseton will look to help big time on Mardian when he gets the ball in the low post.
Laframboise on the outside, has yet to shoot. He does shoot now, and it's off left. Rebounded by Fisher. His shot short. Two chances that time for Sisseton. They come away with nothing. Mortensen. Shot partially blocked that time as Jamerson put it up. Hellwig runs over Jamerson.
Foul called on Frank. The McLaughlin backcourt especially is going to have real trouble getting their shots off. Jamerson, facing into Hellwig, is giving up 5 inches.
At the end of the year, McLaughlin was tied for 3rd in the polls with Harrisburg. Sisseton was unranked, despite beating the top team in AA, Watertown, earlier in the year. LaFramboise's pass is picked off on the inside by Mortensen, and here comes McLaughlin. They're trying to take the lead. They trail at 6-5. Talley with a second three-pointer of the ball game.
Well.
And it is now Midgets 8, Redmen 6. LaFramboise still looking for his first points of the night. Hellwig. Ball knocked away, controlled that time by Renville. Renville still with it. Renville, his second two-footer.
That was a nice shot because he went right at Mardian and then backed up a little bit as he went in the paint, was able to throw it up over Randy.
Jamerson to Talley. Inside, that's Mardian. Mardian with a fall away along the baseline, hits.
A sweet shot. It was a little further out than Randy wanted to be, but he scores 21 points a game, so he can definitely hit that shot.
LaFramboise, the big gun for the Redmen. Nice scoop shot on the inside, and he's on the board.
He had to go around Mardian.
Dustin LaFramboise, a senior, averages 14 a game.
Hot shooting by both teams. McLaughlin hasn't missed yet.
Steal. And the Redmen do maintain possession. Hellwig behind the back pass. Lay it up and in. Renville. 3 layups for Renville. He has 6 of Sisseton's 12.
Sisseton's not exactly cold either. They've only missed 2 shots.
Tried to dump it inside to Mardian, but Fisher on the inside swatted it out of bounds. 4:15 to play, first quarter.
They'll want Mardian. Here he is.
There he is, double team, turns, shot no good. Rebounded by Jason Fonder.
First miss for the Midgets.
The LaFramboise bringing the ball down. Fonder still with it.
They're trying to post up Hellwig because he has such a smaller player on him.
Fonder gets it back. Fonder still with it.
Mardian.
Fonder blocked, but after the block, Mardian got him on the arm.
Well, that's 2 quick fouls on Randy Mardian. That is going to definitely hurt McLaughlin. We'll take another look. Once he beat his own man, he took it right to the hole. Mardian gets him with the body. And that is a tough foul for the Midgets.
Very quickly, Corey Como in there, the 6'1 senior. And Mardian will sit down with the 2 quick fouls.
Well, now
at about the first half of the first quarter.
Immediately the size advantage swings way over to Sisseton, and you can think LaFramboise and Fisher can do some work on the inside with the 6'6 Randy Mardian sitting on the bench.
Fonder on the year, 44% free throw shooter.
Didn't look like it there, though.
Corey Grimsrud counters with Corey Yamarino for the Redmen.
A little surprised. He may want to talk to Fisher and say, here's what we want you to do now that Mardian's out of there.
Either that or sit him down, let him rest a little bit, knowing that when Mardian goes back in there, he's going to have to work just as hard. 1 of 2 that time for Fonder. Sisseton by 3 at 13-10, 3:45 to play, first quarter. And a turnover that time as Mortensen drops it out of bounds. 3:43 to play in the first. Sisseton leads McLaughlin 13-10. You're watching the Class A Boys Basketball Tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. An excellent afternoon crowd of about 5,000 at Sioux Falls Arena, and followed up by a very good evening crowd of probably a little bit less than that. Watching Sisseton right now leading McLaughlin 13-10 with 3:40 to play first quarter. Lennox and Howard are already in the semis. They both won games this afternoon.
Well, immediately Sisseton goes into the paint.
Yamarino just off the bench throws in the shot, and Sisseton's now up by 5.
Without Mardian in there, McLaughlin's number 1, 2, and 3 option is Mike Talley.
And there he is. And he's hand checked on the outside that time by Fonder. Fonder knows exactly who he's against, and he's not going to give him an inch.
He's going to have his hands full. Mike Talley, we saw him hit 2 threes already. He hit 80 3-pointers this season, and he can also take it to the goal very well.
Zone on the out of bounds for Sisseton. Mortensen.
As far as how to cover him, you know, the midgets have seen all kinds of strange defenses to try to stop Mike Talley. Box in 1, triangle in 2.
Jamerson tried to throw it cross court to Talley, and it was batted down.
That was just a bad pass.
And here comes Sisseton and LaFramboise.
I think they'll try to take it inside. Well, and again.
Three-pointer.
Wow. Chad Hellwig.
Hellwig finds it from 3. Sisseton by 8. Biggest lead by either team. Jamerson with it. Tries the paint. Kicks it back out. Mortensen dumps it off inside. Shot partially blocked. Derek LaFlamme tried it. Sisseton looks to go up by 10.
Whoa.
Renville with it to LaFramboise. Back to Renville. Back to LaFramboise. Here comes McLaughlin.
Mike will probably take it right behind himself. I hope he passed it off.
Jamerson shot partially blocked. Back the other way.
Can Renville get it?
Renville tracks it down, but it goes back to McLaughlin, I think. Derek DeFlock with it. To Mike Talley. Mike Talley says, get out of my way.
Yeah, he's got to go take it himself. McLaughlin is seriously undersized in most positions. Without Mardian in there, they have no low post.
And there's Talley from the hip. Throw it up too strong. Rebounded on the inside that time by Dubois.
Well, that was a big rebound for Derek. McLaughlin was actually, you know, heading for problems, down by 8. Now they're down by 6.
Averages 9 a game. Hellwig had the ball stripped away that time.
Well, they're posting Hellwig up against Mortensen with that 5-inch height advantage.
Ball out of bounds to Sisseton. 1:33 to play in this opening 8-minute frame.
You don't have to be Chuck Daly to figure out if my player's 5 inches taller than your player. It's a good idea to get him down low.
Nice steal by Talley. One man to beat, and that's LaFramboise.
Look at this.
Wow.
I'm telling you, he's really good going to the hoop.
2 of the better athletes on the floor tonight from their respective sides going one-on-one there. And Talley won the battle. Just a 4-point lead now for Sisseton. As Hellwig's 3 rims out, but Fonder on the inside puts it up and in. So Sisseton getting a very balanced attack right now, and it's paying off for a 6-point advantage.
It'll be interesting to see how long Mike Michelson leaves Randy Mardian on the bench with those 2 fouls. He may not play the rest of the half.
Mortensen. Here's Talley.
All the way.
Shot short. Rebounded on the inside, back up and in. That was Corey Como.
Well, that's what happens when Talley goes to the hoop. He occupies so many people that sometimes you get those second shots.
Mike Michelson screaming for defense. Final 35 seconds of the first quarter.
Sisseton taking everything inside.
Fonder throws up a miss.
All right.
Now the Midgets get it back with 25 seconds to play. They'll work it for 1.
And there's no, you know, who's going to shoot it, Jeff? Who do you think?
This man right here, Mike Talley.
They may try to run off a couple screens, maybe even open up for a 3, or they'll clear it out and let them go one-on-one. Here it is. They're going to run a screen. They're going to get it to him. Is he going to get it?
They got to hurry.
They better hurry.
Mortensen inside of 5 now.
They're not going to have time.
Jamerson, he'll have to throw up a wild 3.
Boy, just poor execution by McLaughlin there on the final shot.
So 1/4 of the way through tonight's first opening round game. Sisseton leads McLaughlin 20-16. You're watching Class A basketball on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. Back inside, Sioux Falls Arena. Sisseton leads McLaughlin 20-16. And Stevie, you said, how long would Mardian be out of there? And he's not out of there long.
Not long at all. Randy Mardian, 6'6". He has 2 personal fouls on him.
LaFramboise thought about putting it up over Mardian. We'll see if Sisseton changes their offense to go inside. Hellwig rebounded by Mardian.
The one thing for Randy is it's going to cut down on his effectiveness a little bit defensively because he really can't challenge shots with those
Here he
2
is
fouls.
on the inside. We'll see what it does on the offensive end. Absolutely nothing.
He's such a good low post player. And it looks like the Midgets are now in a zone, a 2-3 zone. And they have Mardian playing on one of the corners, not in the middle of the post like you would think.
Bad pass by Hellwig that time, picked off by Talley. 3-on-2.
He'll take it himself.
And it's a blocking foul on Hellwig.
Boy, Chad does have his hands full.
Look at it again.
There he is. Mike Talley, we'll see if he gets his feet set. I think he'll probably lean to his right when Mike makes his move. There he goes.
Ball out of bounds to McLaughlin. They get it in to Mortensen.
I think they'll go into Marty, and
Here
here
he is, double teamed.
Soft
Too
touch.
strong, can't get it back. Here comes Sisseton. They lead it by a bucket, 20-18. A minute gone, second quarter. Renville walked.
While Mortensen and Jamerson are not very big, they are quick, and they do create some headaches.
Dale Weber of Salem making the call that time. We're right there on top of it.
For the opponent trying to work around. Jimmy Olsen comes in now, 5'10", senior, number 20 for the Midgets.
Can Lois Lane be far behind?
I don't think so. Actually, Talley may get an S on his chest the way he can score.
There's Mardian again on the inside, knocked away, but not before he was fouled that time by 45, which is Corey Yamarino.
Boy, anytime Mardian's going to get it down low, he is going to attract a major league crowd.
First foul on Yamarino. Non-shooting variety. Ball out of bounds to the Midgets.
Now they're having trouble getting it in.
There's Talley behind the line.
Wow. That's his third. Joe Kiefer, are you listening?
Now McLaughlin back in the lead, 21-20. Those three-pointers sure help, don't they? Inside, LaFramboise, triple
Watch for the
team.
shot blocker.
Tried to dish it off, but it was last touched by the Midgets.
Mardian has to be very careful when he challenges shots.
And LaFramboise, a heads-up player, he knows Mardian has
Right.
two.
Oh,
He's
sure,
gonna
they'll take it at him. If Randy gets his third foul, he's out at least for the half and maybe longer.
Jamerson back in there as Talley will take probably will be a momentary rest, not long.
We saw what happened to the Midgets without Mardian in there.
Nice pass on the inside. Yamarino worked loose and was wide open.
And it was a smart play by Mardian not to challenge that shot.
Sisseton now back up by one. Jamerson to Mortensen.
Well, with Mike Talley not in there, although he's going to check in here in a second.
Ball kicked that time by Renville, and Talley wasn't out very long, maybe 10 seconds.
Now just a quick chat from Coach Michelson. But it's quite obvious, and we expected this. The Midgets, frankly, have two scores. Talley from the outside and driving to the hoop, Mardian on the inside. And without one of them in there, their effectiveness is cut in half.
We mentioned McLaughlin averages 75 a year. Between the two of them, Mardian and Talley average 43 of that 75. So, yes, that is their offense. Jamerson as Sisseton goes to the zone on the out of bounds.
Right, they're trying to post up Mardian, but there's a lot of help down there.
Talley for three. Saved that time by Jamerson. Mardian. Anywhere in that gray area is his range, and he's showing why early on.
Very nice touch on that turnaround. He shoots 66% from the field, and most of those are in the painted area.
Midgets back up by a point now as we go back and forth here early in the early going.
Well, are they still trying to go at Mardian?
Jamerson fouls Renville away from the bucket.
And now that's his second.
Just couldn't stop his momentum, and I think he knows he's coming out. Maybe not.
Well, McLaughlin is known as a team with very little depth, but Coach Michelson's going to his bench in a hurry here.
Timeout on the floor, 5:16 to play first half. McLaughlin leads Sisseton 23-22. You're watching State A action on Dakota Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network.
Quality, a cornerstone of life in South Dakota. John Morrell has helped to build on this quality of life since 1909. We bring you meats you're proud to serve at home because we buy quality beef, pork, and lamb from the farmers of our state. John Morrell supports the livestock producers of South Dakota and stands behind the quality they bring to all of America. From the countryside to your kitchen, John Morrell means total quality.
Next basket wins.
Regular exercise makes for a healthy heart. It's good for you and for the people you love.
Go for it, Grandpa! Wow, Grandpa, I didn't know you could shoot like that.
This health message brought to you by the physicians at North Central Heart.
Well, except for an early Sisseton run that put them up 18-10. It's pretty much been back and forth, especially here in the second quarter where we've played about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and McLaughlin leads the Redmen 23-22. But now, well, I started to say Sisseton goes back on top, but they can't hit the 2-footer, but they will hang on to the basketball.
Well, you mentioned that run, Jeff. That was when Randy Martin was sitting on the bench, and since he's come back in, McLaughlin has done pretty well. In that case, he didn't even challenge the shot, but the Sisseton player was so intimidated by his presence that he missed the easy one.
Steve Withorn over to the scorer's table.
The officials can't agree whose possession it was.
Yep.
One said red, one said white.
Dale Weather and Steve Withorn have an honest different viewpoint on that one, and so it's a jump ball or a held ball, and it goes on the possession arrow back to McLaughlin.
Talley, flat-footed.
Yeah, he might have forced that one a little bit.
It wasn't a real good release for Mike.
McLaughlin will give it up.
He has had some lower back problems, but he told me before the game that everything's fine.
Sisseton again down by 1 as we approach the halfway point here in the first half.
Henry Renville, hello.
Renville finds it from 3, and
he's perfect from the
just
field.
like that, Redmen up by a bucket.
Henry Renville, 4 of 4.
Mortensen, there's Talley. Back to Mortensen. Mardian on the inside, throws it away.
Oh, breakout, Renville.
Oh, he blew a 2-footer.
I just said the guy was 4 for 4 from the field. I must have jinxed him.
We've seen better accuracy from 3-point range today than we have from a 2-foot. Talley for 3.
That's his 4th.
That's a bad shot for any other player. It really is, and he made it look easy. Zone again for McLaughlin. LaFrance boys staring at Mardian.
He's an intimidating presence under there.
Hellwig on the inside, gets it off. Yamarino gets it up, and in he'll go to the line.
Foul is on Jim Olson, 5'10", underneath there. Not much he could do when Renville got it. Actually, that was Jason Fonder. No, check that. Yamarino scoring the bucket.
Did a nice job with 3 guys around him to keep his momentum going towards the basket. And it pays off with the hoop, and now he'll have a chance to go to the line to put the Redmen back up by a bucket. Can't hit, off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Mortensen.
Well,
Talley, who just hit a 3 a moment ago. Olsen.
Randy Mardian's not in there right now.
Mortensen.
It's going to be up to
on
somebody
the inside,
else.
shot blocked by Fisher. Foul on Fisher. Derek Dufloth will go to the line.
We'll take a look. Derek thought he had, Fisher thought he had all ball. I'm not so sure. Maybe got him with the body underneath. Dufloth, a 56% free throw shooter. He's a pretty good scorer, averages 9 points a game, but he's really a defensive specialist.
One more for the Midgets to take the lead as we're tied at 27. And they do. 3:14 to play, second quarter of our first evening game in the first round. Lennox and Howard are in the semis.
Well, I'd look for Justin Fisher on the inside without Mardian in there.
Renville with it.
They're in a 2-3 zone, but the guys on the baseline are not very big at all.
Hellwig and Renville on opposite sides are playing catch now. Hellwig will take a 3, long rebound, brought in by the Midgets. They got a 3-on-2 bust out. Talley all the way, pulls up, high arch. Midgets by 3.
Wow, now that was a great shot. Fading out of bounds, high arcing shot, and he got it to go. Talley now has 18 points.
Hellwig trying to crack the zone to Renville. LaFrance boys thought about a 3 from the corner, back to Hellwig.
They got to get inside to Fisher.
LaFrance boys now will take the 3. Fisher over the back, and he knew it.
Second on Justin. I think Sisseton has got to try to work the ball inside to their big people without Mardian in there. There it is, right over the back as Mike Talley goes up for the rebound. And you do not want to send him to the free throw line. Not only can he hit the threes, but Talley is 79% free throw shooter.
Brandon Fisher checks in for Justin Fisher. Talley gets the first, 79%er. To go with his 22 points and 8 rebounds a game, he also averages 5 assists and 3 steals.
The man can do it all.
And there you see his numbers so far tonight. Not too shabby.
He is being recruited by Northern State in a big way. Still undecided whether he'll go there.
Renville all the way along the baseline, gives it up. Fisher.
There, I guess they heard me.
Not bad for a guy who just came in off the bench, 6'2" sophomore.
Get it inside without Mardian around. Here's option one.
Talley way out away from the bucket.
Oh, they cleared out for him. Look at that shot.
Wow.
A little scoop-a-roo for Mike Talley.
McLaughlin now by 5 at 34-29 as we go back and forth. Sisseton has led it by as many as 8. The 5-point advantage matches McLaughlin's biggest. But it's a 3-point game now as LaFramboise sits on the inside.
Sisseton did a good job of being patient. They're getting the ball inside. It's all Mike Talley, though, at the McLaughlin end.
Olsen to Talley.
Nope, won't take it.
Mortensen, about 14 feet.
That was a nice little move.
And he needs to hit those to keep the defense honest, to keep us from sagging in.
They may go to
on Mardian when he's in there and off on Talley.
Instead of the box and 4, they'll go to the 1 and 4 on Talley. The one advantage for the midgets here, although nice penetration.
Hellwig a little bit too strong to the hole.
Talley rebound bust out.
Final,
get it there.
Final
yes,
35 seconds. Olsen ahead of the defense. He'll go to the line. Didn't get it though. With 34 seconds left, and McLaughlin already matching their biggest lead at 36-31.
We'll take a look here. Hellwig made a beautiful drive to the hole, but he couldn't quite get the layup, and then it was a bust out at the other end. Jim Olsen, no question about the foul.
LaFramboise with the personal, his first. Olsen, the 5'10" senior, a 58% from the line, goes to the line for 2. He averages 3 points a game. Sisseton, when they get it back, will have 34 seconds to try to do something with it. And they'll trail it by either 5 or 6. 5.
Oh.
7.
Oh,
no, 5.
Corey, Jimmy Olsen and Corey Como couldn't hit off the rebound. I guess we'll go to the other end.
Olsen with a golden chance that time to put McLaughlin up by their biggest margin, which would have been 7, but he again has trouble from very close to the hoop.
Called for the personal. Derek Dufloth is first.
Brandon Fisher to the line. The sophomore shoots 67% on the year. Now 29 seconds left in the second quarter. He can't hit. Well, Talley and the midgets will work it for 1.
Yeah. And I think Mike will definitely get the shot this time. Last time they couldn't get the ball and they waited too long.
They spread the floor with 15 seconds left. Mortensen,
here he is.
There's Talley.
They're going to clear it out.
With 6 seconds left, gives it back to Mortensen, back to Talley. 3 seconds.
Better shoot it.
Talley for 3. 2 times McLaughlin had a chance to do something with it at the end of the quarter, and 2 times they really don't get a very good possession out of it. We played a half of basketball. McLaughlin 36, Sisseton 31. Back with the halftime festivities in a moment. You're watching the State A tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. Back at halftime of our first game of the evening session, McLaughlin trying to make it 3 of the top 4 seeds in the semis, trying to join Lennox and Howard. They lead Sisseton by 5, and we've got some halftime entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the center of the floor. The Winter High School Warriorettes will be performing a precision dance routine to Name Game. The Warriorette captain is Robin Burns. Leaders are Kristen Corkle, Sonia Daughters, and Julie Zimmerman. Mrs. Janet Bruin is the advisor. Please welcome the Warriorettes. Warriorettes.
And coming up in a moment, some South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association awards, Hall of Shrine, and officials inductions. And we're going to come back in a moment. You're watching the State A Boys Basketball Tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. Halftime of our third opening round game from Sioux Falls Arena in the Class A tournament. And McLaughlin, the Midgets, trying to stay unbeaten as they lead Sisseton right now, 36-31. If you just joined us, Lennox won their opening round game this afternoon. The top team in the state and the top team in the tournament beat Miller 65-42 after Miller led it by as many as 5 in the early going. Lennox pulled away late to make an easy victory out of that one. In the second game this afternoon, it was a wild affair. Howard behind the three-point shooting of Joe Kiefer. In the first half, he hit 7 of them down Todd County, 81-72. First half stats from this game, Steve, and as we take a look at it, what sticks out in your mind there?
Well, as you look at it, McLaughlin, even though they're smaller, is out rebounding Sisseton. Mardian is the guy leading the way there. Not a whole lot of turnovers. Pretty well played first half, actually. You mentioned Joe Kiefer with the three-pointers. Mike Talley has been hitting those for McLaughlin. He had 4 three-pointers in the first half, and it's really been the outside shooting of Talley, the inside play of Mardian the reason McLaughlin is ahead. And Mardian, with only 2 fouls, now we're into the second half. That's not such big foul trouble. He was able to make it through the whole rest of the second quarter and not pick up any more fouls, and that was a big plus for McLaughlin. And if nothing else, I think the people watching out there in TV land and the people here at the arena can look at this team and say, yeah, McLaughlin is for real.
Leading scorers for both sides. Talley, we saw him hit all over the floor, a lot of threes. He had 20. Mardian, when he wasn't in foul trouble, had 8. Renville with 9 for Sisseton. He had a lot of lay-ins on breaks. Yamarino with 6. Inside a minute, we'll be back with the start of the second half as McLaughlin leads Sisseton 36-31 here. Don't forget, coming up after this game, Parkston will battle Custer. You're watching the State A Boys Basketball Tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. McLaughlin and Sisseton getting set to start the second half. The Red Men will have the basketball. And the starting 5, it looks like, back in there for both sides. And we'll keep an eye on Randy Mardian, who has 2 personals.
Sisseton, I think, should get the ball into Dustin Laframboy. Not only is he a good offensive player, but he has Mike Talley guarding him. And maybe if Talley has to worry a little bit about defense, he can't concentrate so much on his offense.
Speaking of defense, right off the bat, McLaughlin forces a turnover, and they'll take it over.
A little bit of pressure here by the Red Men.
Already with a 5-point lead. Mortensen with the basketball and his orange shoes. That's Jamerson in there with him. Also out there, Talley.
They want Mardian in the low
Mardian
post.
On the inside, there he is.
Nice move.
He will go to the line. It did not fall for him.
Dustin Laframboy called for the personal. Watch Mardian here put it on the floor. It was okay because he wasn't in traffic. Makes a nice move to his right. Almost gets it to go. But he will go to the free throw line.
Second personal on Laframboy, and Mardian to the line, where he's a 74% free throw shooter, the 6'6" senior, looking for his 9th and 10th points.
And Randy, in the truest sense of the word, is a wide body. He takes up a lot of space in there. He's a very powerful player. Not just 6 feet 6 inches tall, but also takes up a lot of space. And he looks pretty good there in the low post.
Hits them both. Puts McLaughlin up by 7. That's their biggest lead of the night. Sisseton led it by 8 in the first half at one point. Renville. It was a 3-pointer. It didn't go. Rebounded on the inside by
Fonder.
And Fonder puts it back up and in.
I still think they have to get Laframboy going.
Jamerson around Fonder. Shot no good. Volleyballed around. Controlled by Hellwig. Fonder all the way.
Dave Mortensen.
Fonder will go to the line.
Oh, I just touched it. Man, another look. Fonder showing some good speed. Talley trying to swipe away it. I can't get it. Here comes Mortensen. Tries to get out of the way. Didn't quite get it done.
It was on the drive, and so it's a ball out of bounds. Back inside, and I think Fonder was on the line.
They passed it right to Hellwig, who was standing out of bounds.
It was Hellwig, 33, not 35. And turnover for the Redmen.
Well, I don't think it'll be long before Mike Talley puts up a shot here. Unless he goes into Mardian.
Mardian on the inside. The jump hook doesn't go. Rebounded on the inside by Laframboy. Dustin still with it. Nice pass on the inside. Fonder turns it over, though. Mortensen running to Talley.
Good idea to get the ball to Mike. Look at him go.
All the way. Oh, can't hit. Rebounded on the inside by Mardian. He can't hit. Goes to the deck. No foul. Here come the Redmen. Long pass ahead.
And there go the Redmen.
And Hellwig threw it away. Tried to hit Fonder. And a foul on Laframboy, or on Renville, I should say, holding Mortensen on the inbounds.
That's his third, I think. Oh, that was on Renville. That's his first.
Two teams fouls for the Redmen here in the third quarter. McLaughlin with the ball and a 5-point lead. There's Talley.
Whoops.
Oh, he got a little fancy with it
and
turned it over and committed the foul on top of that. Ball out of bounds to Sisseton. They're still trying to get something going here. They've only had a bucket here in the second half. But that's been the only points so far. Bromboys thought about a real long three.
I said he should try to score a little bit, but I don't think that's quite what we had in mind.
Renville left open, doesn't want the three.
McLaughlin really packing in the zone.
Hellwig tried to get it inside to Fonder, who got it back on a lucky bounce, but had it blocked. Here comes Jamerson back the other way. Looking inside of Marty, instead out to Talley. Mortensen left alone for three.
That was really nice ball movement by the midgets, getting it over to Mortensen.
Mortensen doesn't shoot often, but he's been accurate so far. 2 for 2, 5 points. One of them a 2-pointer, one of them a 3-pointer.
There's
the Bromboys. Doesn't get the shot, but will get 2 free throws.
Jamerson called for his third. We'll take a look. Dustin Bromboy on the inside. Marty in. Goes up for the shot. Foul whistle against Jamerson.
The Bromboys with 4. That's well below his average of 14. 6 rebounds he averages. A 63% free throw shooter in his final season at Sisseton. Makes 1 of 2, but rebounded on the inside by Hellwig. Dumps it off to Fonder, and Fonder dumps it off out of bounds. Time out of the floor, 5:16 to play. Third quarter, McLaughlin leads Sisseton 41-33. You're watching the State A tournament on Coda territory of the Eyewitness Sports Network. Upon further review, they check it at the scorer's table and they say Sisseton has 34 points, not 33. Which means that McLaughlin is up by 7 and not 8. The midgets have the basketball with 5:10 to play, third quarter. Jamerson, long, didn't draw iron, but rebounded on the inside by Derek Dupois, and he will go to the line as he was fouled by Hellwig.
Or he won't go to the line.
I guess he wasn't shooting, so it's ball out of bounds. This is to McLaughlin.
They're going to run Mortensen.
Mortensen gets it into Jamerson. Zone on the out of bounds for Sisseton. Talley with it. He's been quiet in the second half so far. Mortensen tried to get it into Marty in, but didn't hit anybody, and another turnover for the midgets. Talley has been very quiet here in the second half. 1 shot and 1 miss. Hellwig playing catch with Renville. Renville dips on the inside now off the front of the rim. Renville also picks up the foul. Frustration foul that time for Renville, trying to follow his miss.
Well, both teams kind of treading water right now in terms of offense, not really getting anything explosive. For McLaughlin, it's a pretty simple offense. Get it inside to Marty in, or get it outside to Talley and see what he can do.
There's Talley, doesn't draw iron, might have been partially blocked.
Now, how do you like that? The smallest guy on the floor gets the rebound. Frank Jamerson, 5'7".
Now Jamerson will try the long-range shot, can't get it to go, rebounded by Fonder.
Well, he earned a chance. He did get the rebound.
Renville didn't quite get it to Fisher early enough, but it was still early enough to get the bucket. Sisseton coming back now. They've cut it to 5. Exactly halfway through the third quarter. Another turnover for McLaughlin. Mortensen very disgusted with himself as he bounced that one right out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. 3:55 to play third quarter. McLaughlin leads Sisseton 41-36. You're watching the State A tournament on Coda territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. 3:55 to play in the third. Sisseton doing everything they can to try to catch unbeaten McLaughlin, but no one's been able to do it this year. And McLaughlin now will show zone. 3-2 zone.
Well, you would look for shooting on the baseline in the corners against this kind of zone.
The Bromboys with it at the free throw line over Mortensen, and that is a big height advantage to Dustin Bromboys, who stands 6'3". Mortensen just 5'7". 8-inch height advantage, and Bromboys took big advantage that time. Zone back the other, or it is a zone back the other way for Sisseton. Jamerson trying to get rid of it, does to Talley. Talley has yet to put his name on the scorebook here in the second half. Ducloth on the inside.
Well, with Talley a little bit cold here in the second half, and Mardian really not doing a whole lot, McLaughlin's going to have to find a third scorer. Perhaps it is Derek Ducloth.
Again, the midgets go to the zone. And LaFramboise has it about 17 feet away. He scored from almost that same spot moments ago. And a traveling violation called against Hellwig. Each side having a problem turning it over at very inopportune times, just about when they're getting ready to make a run.
Well, McLaughlin is really packed in when they're in that zone, so Sisseton probably going to have to shoot from the outside.
Mortensen, and he threw it away. Renville, 2-on-1, and he throws it away, trying to hit Hellwig. Corey Yamarino checks back in. Jason Fonder takes a seat right by Corey Grimsrud on the Sisseton bench. Grimsrud in his first year after Cal Oss led Sisseton for quite a number of years. Mike Michelson in his third year leading McLaughlin. And another turnover for the midgets.
Mike Talley trying to get it into Mardian.
Back and forth we go with the TOs. And LaFramboise in danger of turning it over for Sisseton. Gets it back.
I'm still surprised Sisseton doesn't fire off somebody down into a corner. That's definitely where the opening will be.
There's LaFramboise, 4 guys on him. He turns it over, and neither side's gotten off a shot here in probably the last 2 minutes.
Well, Sisseton is trying to work the ball in when there's no room.
Jamerson, as we're inside 2 minutes to play third quarter. Mortensen back to Jamerson, thought about the 3.
They want
Mardian on the inside, jump hook, no. But at least they got a shot off, which is a big improvement for both sides at this point.
Well, the scorekeeper is taking it easy right now. That scoreboard hasn't moved.
Renville throws it to row 2, seat 5. And nobody in a red jersey sitting over there, so it's a turnover.
Boy, neither team executing much at all on the offensive end. Just kind of helter-skelter. Sisseton trying to work the ball inside against the zone when it's really not there. And McLaughlin, their big people are missing shots.
Bonder takes the place back out of the floor as Renville sits down.
I just feel some sort of three-pointer coming up from Mike Talley here to just bust it out.
There he is. He's been very quiet in the second half so far. Jamerson with it. Corner of the key. Mortensen with 1:12 to play third quarter. There's Talley. Here he goes down the lane. He'll try the 15-footer. Too strong. Got his own board. Mardian grabbed it away from him. And a controlled ball will go out of bounds, I believe, to McLaughlin. We'll take a look at it again.
There's Talley inside. Good position by Mardian. He and Mike fight for the rebound, and then good shot block right there from behind. That was Hellwig.
Hellwig or Fonder, one of the two. Here comes Fonder and Hellwig on the bust out. Fonder's foul on the drive before the shot. The basket does not count.
Mike Talley called for his second personal. Pretty good foul, cut down on the fast break. Non-shooting, I believe.
Just the 4th team foul on the midgets. And so it is ball out of bounds. Final 56 seconds of the third quarter. Fonder about 4 feet away, double pumps, gets the roll. And Sisseton now pulls to within 3 at 43-40.
And if McLaughlin holds for a last shot, which they've done the last 2 quarters, we'll see if they can do a little better job of getting off a good one.
The Redmen on a 7-2 run to cut what was an 8-point lead down to just 3.
McLaughlin in the spread, so they will probably hold for the last shot.
Inside 30 seconds, Jamerson and Mortensen playing catch with it.
If someone can beat their man one-on-one here, they have a lot of room to operate. Could take it all the way to the glass.
Inside 20 seconds now, third quarter.
There it is.
Mortensen left alone. Nice dish to Marty, and that's the way you draw it up.
Travel.
And a traveling violation that time on Hellwig.
And just as Sisseton was making the big run, now here comes McLaughlin with a mini run at the end of the quarter, and they could put four quick points on the board and assume their big lead again.
8 seconds left. Talley with it. Will McLaughlin get off a decent shot to end the quarter? They haven't so
Mike's
far
got
yet
to take
tonight.
it himself. Oh, nice pass.
Dish. Olsen doesn't draw iron. Sisseton still with McLaughlin, I should say, still with a big goose egg for end of quarter possessions. But they lead Sisseton after 3, 45-40. We're coming back for the final 8 minutes on Kona Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. With 8 minutes to play, McLaughlin looking to run their record of 23-0 and become the third top 3 of the 4 teams to make it to the semifinals, with second seed Custer yet to play. But Sisseton might have something to say about it.
Well, this game is going to come down to who can find their offense sooner.
Hellwig for a long 3.
There's some offense.
Just 2 points separate them now. 45-43.
Both teams scored just 9 points apiece in that third quarter.
Tally still very quiet. Back with it.
Well, they don't have Mardian in there now, so someone else is going to have to come up with something.
Mortensen dishes it off to Olsen, gets it back on the inside. Ducloth still with it.
Nice pass.
Olsen can't hit the 2-footer. And now Sisseton with a chance to tie it with a 2. They could take the lead with a 3.
If they score here, one of two things are going to happen. Either Mike Michelson's going to call a quick timeout, or Randy Mardian's coming back in, and as I see that, he checks into the scorer's table.
Hellwig operating against the zone. Sisseton has made up much of their ground operating against the McLaughlin zone without Mardian in there.
Very small lineup in there for McLaughlin, and there's
a foul that time on Mortensen. 15th foul on McLaughlin, and it'll be 1-1 for Chad Hellwig. Mardian and Jamerson check back in for the Midgets.
So all the starters back in there for McLaughlin, and they made this go for the rest of the quarter that way.
One more for Hellwig, and we'll have a brand new ball game. And we are tied at 45 with 6:44 to play.
And a 5-0 run by Sisseton is what tied this game.
Jamerson back to a man-to-man defense for Sisseton.
I know Mike Talley doesn't want to do it all, but he's got to shoot the ball.
Duflas fouled on the inside by LaFramboise, who got there late. Look at it again.
Dustin. Good place to get the ball here by Duflas. Nice spin. Got him with the body.
Duflas on the year, 55% free throw shooter. And we're still tied. And Henry Renville checks back in for the Redmen.
Somebody's got to check out, and I know it's not Randy Mardian.
Randy Mardian, who's 6'6", gets bumped out of the lane by 5'7" Jade Mortensen. By a guy 11 inches smaller, but I guarantee you that's because they don't want Mardian to pick up a foul going over the back. So what happens? Fonder goes over Mortensen's back to get the ball, but didn't foul him. So Sisseton with a chance to take their first lead in a long time. Hellwig for 3. Rebound on the inside. Fisher had a hand on it, held ball. It'll go out of bounds to McLaughlin.
The problem for Fisher there was he brought the ball down to the floor, and that's where all the little guys for McLaughlin can get at it. McLaughlin has yet to score in the fourth quarter.
And we've played exactly 2 minutes.
And I still think they got to get Mike Talley the ball in a place where he likes to shoot it.
Tried to force it inside of Mardian. Renville back the other way. He's been the layup specialist for Sisseton, and he gives the Redmen the lead.
I'll tell you, Henry got off the floor in a hurry. Showed great speed.
Back comes Jamerson. Duflas was wide open underneath, but the ball's knocked away and controlled by Renville.
I look for a TO here by Mike Michelson.
They got it to Marino, but the ball's knocked away.
Got to get a TO.
And there was a foul on the play, and it was called against Duflas. with 5:33 to play in regulation. There you see 22 on the reach. There's timeout on the floor. Sisseton 47, McLaughlin 45. You're watching the Class A tournament on Coda Territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network.
Aroma, texture, taste. These are the qualities that have made Easy Cut ham a legendary ham for over 50 years. The unique aroma is the first promise of the old-fashioned goodness found in every Easy Cut. Then there's a ham so tender, you don't need a knife to cut it. And finally, the incomparable taste. When you buy an Easy Cut ham, you can be sure that you'll enjoy everything you pay for. The famous John Morrell Easy Cut ham. Taste a legend.
Why should you watch Eyewitness Weather? You already know Phil Schreck, the only television meteorologist you count on for more accurate weather each weeknight on Eyewitness News. You also know Dave Preheim. Dave's up before everyone to give you the first look at the weather weekday mornings on Breakfast Club. And now, meet Kathy Ellis. She'll give you a clear picture of the weekend weather and let you know what to expect in the week ahead. Eyewitness Team Weather. More reason to watch Eyewitness News.
Back to live action. Corey Yamarino to the free throw line, trying to build on a 2-point Sisseton lead. Can't hit. Rebounded by Mardian.
Boys, ever since the first half, Jeff, the McLaughlin offense has been stalled. They have only scored 9 points since the first half.
Jamerson scoops it up, can't get it. And where has Mike Talley been?
I don't know. It was kind of the same story as Joe Kiefer. Lighted up in the first half. I don't know. Maybe he's not feeling well.
I say Kiefer had an excuse. He wasn't feeling well. A hack on the inside that time by Jamerson.
I think that's his fourth.
And Yamarino will go back to the line to try to redeem himself where he missed on the front end of the 1-on-1 moments ago.
Fourth personal, Frank Jamerson.
First player in real foul trouble for either side, and that's Jamerson with 4 who will come out. Jimmy Olsen checking back in. Yamarino still can't buy one from the line.
Well, Mike Talley has that look now. It'll look like I'm going to launch one here in a second. He's open at the three-point line.
On the inside, back outside to Jamerson. Or actually, that was Mortensen. How can I
look at
miss
this,
the
double-teamed is Talley, double-teamed.
Tried to dump it off to Mardian, but he was too far out of bounds and threw away. Renville, as Sisseton leads it still by a bucket.
3-2 zone.
Hellwig going back and forth with Renville.
The openings are down in the corners against this zone, like about there.
Sisseton not in a hurry as they lead it by 2. Cross-court pass, LaFrance Boyce to Hellwig on the inside. Woo! Shot blocked. That was Yamarino taking it to the hole.
And that was Mardian saying, get that out of here.
Mardian obviously not shy.
Well, he can play now. I mean, he's kept his 2 fouls.
And he's got the ball underneath. Triple teamed. Can't get it. Sisseton knocked it out of bounds. And I'm glad Steve Warthorne agreed with me.
Boy, how frustrating it must be for Randy Mardian. Get it in a good spot, and he can't convert.
4:01 to play in regulation. And now exactly 4 minutes to play in regulation.
Which means that for McLaughlin, they've now played 13 minutes of the second half, and they have 9 points to show for it.
How many minutes? Mardian on the inside can't hit. LaFrance Boyce to Renville. Hellwig sets up the offense.
There's where the opening is, right there.
LaFrance Boyce thought about it twice. Now takes it in. Contact on the inside. No foul. LaFrance Boyce gets the bucket. Sisseton by 4. They've scored all 4 points here in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin has not put a point on the board yet in the final frame. This guy, Talley, hasn't put up a bucket in the second half.
Look out, Mardian got it.
2 in a row for Mardian.
It wasn't pretty.
Mortensen almost comes up with a steal after bullying his way in to make the dish to Mardian a moment ago. Actual bucket advantage for the Redmen. Renville gets the bounce.
Good court sense there by Renville. They came out to try to trap out here up top.
There's Talley for three. Nope.
Might be looking at another timeout for McLaughlin.
Sisseton now definitely in no hurry as they lead it by 4 and 2:40 left.
Whoops. And just as you say that, a wild pass to nobody.
Renville,
except the young lady down there with the camera.
Didn't get the right reaction out of his teammate. Sisseton calls time. They lead it by 4 with 2:37 left. You're watching the Class A tournament on Coda territory and the Eyewitness Sports Network. Sisseton trying to do something that hasn't been done this basketball season. That's defeat the McLaughlin Midgets. The third seed, 22-0 coming in, but they trail it by 4 with 2:30 left. And Mike Talley, one of their big scorers, ice cold. Mardian on the inside, he's been hot as of late. He had hit the last 2 times down, but throws of a miss that time, and Sisseton with a chance to build in a 4-point lead. The Fromboys still with it. Elwig will set it up, and a whistle on the inside, 3 seconds.
And back comes Frank Jamerson, starting guard for McLaughlin. And they have got to find some offense somewhere.
Jamerson and Mortensen still in the backcourt. Here's Talley.
This guy's got to shoot it.
Mardian on the inside. 3 of the last 4 times down. Mardian scored. He is single-handedly keeping McLaughlin in it with 1:45 to play.
Trap. Up, and that's it for Frank Jamerson.
And he knows it. So Jamerson, the junior, will leave it up to his teammates to try to stay unbeaten.
Tough game for Frank. He didn't score. Averages 10 a game.
So here's McLaughlin trying to do it now without any production from Mike Talley in the second half, without a point from a guy who averages 10 a game, who is now fouled out, and with Randy Mardian single-handedly trying to keep him in it, and he's triple-teamed every time he gets the ball. As Renville hits 2, Sisseton opens it back up to 4, and 1:40 left for the Midgets to try to tie it up. Mortensen down the lane, nice move.
Look at this.
And Mortensen, the senior, stepping up and saying, hey, we're not done by any means.
They'll look to trap. Here it is. Right in front of us. And Renville, good ball handler, got it out of there.
The Fromboys and Renville will try to take the air out of it as Mortensen commits the foul and stops the clock.
Jade can afford to be a little aggressive. That's just his third personal, but I don't think they really want to send Henry Renville to the line. He's 75% free throw shooter, and he hit his last 2. We're definitely into crunch time now, just 1:19 left. And Renville's keeping the Sisseton Redmen ahead with his free throw shooting.
Of the players on the floor, the guy to foul for Sisseton is Jason Fonder, who hits just 44% of his shots, but Renville only makes 1 of 2, and a 3-pointer, well, for McLaughlin would tie it.
This guy's a clutch player. Mike Talley hasn't hit, but here it is.
There's a 3, and it almost went in, but it was off the front of the rim. 1:05 to play for Sisseton, and they got a breakout. Fonder tried to get it ahead to Renville. Renville didn't save it, and Sisseton turns it over. And a timeout called by McLaughlin, and we will keep it here with 59.2 seconds left. And Mike Talley's got to be the most frustrated person in the building right now.
Well, for McLaughlin, you got to get it to Mike Talley and say, hey, the guy hit 83 pointers this year. I mean, sooner or later, one's going to go down.
He hit 4 in the first half. He was 7 of 15 from the line. It seemed like another day at the office for Mike Talley as he looked to be on his way to his average at least of 22. But a not-so-funny thing happened to Talley and the rest of the McLaughlin team. He's been shut down.
59.2 seconds. You could try to get it inside to Marty and hit for the 2, and then play some defense and try to foul. It's not critical three-point shooting time yet.
Tally with the 20 points in the first half, just 2 below his average.
But he still hasn't gotten to his average.
Still has not gotten in the book at all in the second half. He has fired up 5 misses. About at least half of those have been from 3. But that's all that McLaughlin needs to tie this one up. Lennox and Howard are in the semis. Who will it be? Will McLaughlin stay unbeaten, or will Sisseton advance? 50 seconds, we will know the answer, perhaps. Here's Tally. They are in the zone, they being Sisseton.
Well, Mortensen has also hit a 3 in this game. There is, look at
Marty on the inside, falls away. It's a 1-point game with 33 seconds left.
And now it's defense or free throws. They'll go for his trap, a steal, foul.
Mortensen with a foul on Renville with 27.8 left.
That's his 4th foul, and gosh, you don't want to foul Henry Renville, although he did miss his last one. Even if he hits both, McLaughlin still has a chance. There's that little white line out there that runs around.
I think anytime you have Randy Marty and a Mike Tally on the floor, you have a chance.
And Mike Michelson will talk it over with his team and perhaps try to ice Henry Renville.
Exactly. Again, we will keep it right here now with 27.8 seconds left. And Sisseton with a slim lead over McLaughlin, 54-53.
And the Midgets, you know, looking for a last shot. They haven't really executed last shot plays real well in this game so far. They had a chance at a last shot in the first quarter. Didn't really put up much. Chance for a last shot in the second quarter, and it ended up being Tally from about 25 feet out with 2 guys on him.
Sisseton led it, Steve Sisseton led it by as many as 8 in the first half. 18-10 was their biggest lead at one point. McLaughlin also enjoyed an 8-point advantage at one stretch in the second half. They were up 41-33 in the early stages of the third quarter. But since then, Sisseton's been chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and now they've gone up by as many as 5 or 6. And now McLaughlin is trying to catch him here down the stretch with 27.8 seconds left.
Extremely cold shooting by the McLaughlin Midgets in the second half. The team scored 36 points in the first half. They've scored just 17 points in the second half. And Henry Renville will shoot free throws.
A reminder, he shoots 75%, but he only hit 50% his last time at the line.
If he makes 1 and misses the second, you go to Marty and down on the block. If he makes them both, you go to Mike Tally for a 3. With
Marty and down low is your immediate backup, because then you try to foul. Renville does hit 1 of 2, so the options are open now for McLaughlin. A 2-pointer ties it. A 3-pointer could propel them into the semi.
Oh, wide open.
Wide open on the inside is Olsen, and the ball game's tied with 15 seconds left. Sisseton will work for 1. LaFrance boys to Hellwig. Hellwig is fouled. I don't know what Mortensen was doing. He's fouled out.
He doesn't know what he was doing either. I think he thought his team was still behind.
No offense to Jade Mortensen, but that was a dumb foul. A, his team's tied. They don't need to foul to stop the clock. B, he's done. So now the backcourt for McLaughlin is fouled out.
And Jade is a senior. It's obvious he's going to foul. He's trying to get the steal, and there's really no need for it because they're tied. Here he has total reach in. It's obvious he's trying to foul.
And it's Hellwig.
Hellwig is a good free throw shooter.
Hellwig's 72%er on the year. Pressure free throws for the 6-foot senior. Well, 7.9 seconds left.
If McLaughlin has a timeout, they'll probably use it if he makes this here.
And he hits them both.
And it doesn't look like
Sisseton calls time.
Wow.
They want to set up the defense. They will give up the 2. They won't mind overtime. They are going to guard against the 3. I guarantee you, Corey Grimsard telling his club right now, if Mike Tally gets the ball in three-point land, I would rather foul him than let him shoot a 3 and beat us.
Right, and
this team's undefeated. They're undefeated for a reason. Let's not let them show us why here in the final 7.9.
And there you see the disappointment on Jade Mortensen, holding his hands in his head in his hands. He still can't believe what he did, but he just lost track of the score, and that sometimes happens.
I think you're exactly right, Steve. I think he did not know what the situation was. He obviously thought his team was behind. Either that, or he thought he had an obvious steal, one of the two, and I think it was the former rather than the latter.
Well, it's a pressure situation, and there he is, you know, 17, 18-year-old kid. These things happen.
But also give credit to Chad Helwig,
right,
who stepped up and knocked down two very, very big free throws.
But let us remember, 7.9 seconds, McLaughlin should be able to get a pretty decent shot off, although they haven't shown a real ability with last-second stuff.
How damaged is Mike Talley's confidence now after going 0 for 5 here in the second half?
Doesn't matter. He's a clutch player.
We'll find out.
They're going to try to get it to him.
He will get the ball in the inbound inside 7 seconds. Talley will be the last man with it more than likely. Talley all the way, gives it up. 1/10 of a second left, and it looks like Sisseton will knock off McLaughlin for the first time this year. All they got to do is get it in.
First, they're going to call timeout.
And they will call time with 1/10 of a second left.
All they have to do is get the ball in, game over.
All it has to do is touch someone inbounds. Doesn't even have to be someone from Sisseton. They could even throw it in off a McLaughlin player, off his leg.
Well, with 1/10, you cannot shoot the ball in 1/10 of a second. As the New York Knicks proved last year.
So really, you know, if I'm Sisseton right now, I'm going to pick out the nearest guy. I don't care what jersey he's wearing, and I'm going to throw it at his leg or at his arm and just...
And you tell the guy, pass it in for Sisseton, forget about the 5 seconds, just throw it somewhere.
Right.
Just do not get a 5-second call.
Just hit somebody with it. That's all you got to do. If it hits somebody, the clock starts, game's over.
Right.
Because as long as they don't catch it in their hands, they can't get it up in enough time to put it in. But stranger things have happened in a state tournament. It's over. For the first time this season, the McLaughlin Midgets have lost a basketball game. Sisseton, 57. McLaughlin, 55. The Redmen are in the semifinals, and they will meet the winner of the game between Custer and Parkston that we'll have for you in a moment. We're coming back. You're watching the State A tournament on Coda Territory on the Eyewitness Sports Network.